Natalia Utsaki. To most of us, these words are just gibberish, but to some, these words are different types of martial arts moves. Tang Soo Do is a Korean style of martial arts studied by many around the world. Today's guest is an apprentice black belt in Tang Soo Do that has been studying this style for 11 years and is currently preparing to test for her black belt. Today's guest will talk about the preparations he's going through and much more. The Humanities Mass Communication Arts Department at Norwell Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Joseph Flores, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved in this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you're about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. These programs will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who has been taking martial arts for 11 years and is now getting ready to test for her first degree black belt. I would like you to meet today's guest, Lauren Gianetti.
Hi, Joe.
How you doing, Lauren? So we know that you've been studying karate for 11 years now, and you're preparing to go for your first degree black belt. Can you tell us about the past 11 years and the preparations that you've been undergoing?
Sure. I'll start with the 4 requirements I need to test for my black belt. The first one is I have to pass a teaching evaluation, and this is where I was given a group of white belts, and I have to teach them everything they need to know so that they can test and get their yellow belt. Thankfully, they all passed, and so therefore I've passed my teaching evaluation. I'm now working on my self-defense portion, and then after that I'll learn my weapons forms, and then I will be testing in June. I started karate when I was 10 years old, and in January of last year I received my apprentice black belt. This is my teaching evaluation that I just finished. Those are all the kids and they all passed. This is when I started. I started as a white belt, and of course I had to work my way up to my apprentice belt, and like I said, I just got it in January of last year. There are definitely 3 people I have to thank because without them I wouldn't be making it through these preparations, starting with my primary instructor, Doug, and then moving on to my other 2, Phil and Jason. That's Phil and Jason. Phil has helped me through all the terminology. Jason has definitely been my biggest supporter through everything. He's been with me through every step of the way, and right up to now with all of the injuries and everything. When you enter karate, you receive an upper belt buddy, and I just got my my underbelt buddy. That's Ryan, and my upper belt buddy is Kristen, the black belt, and she's been with me through everything. It's basically just someone for you to fall back on in case you get nervous or anything. And then since I passed my teaching evaluations, my instructor decided to throw a curveball at me and give me a green belt who's getting ready to test for his red belt. So this is Chase, and I have to prepare him to test for his red belt in June. So we're working on that right now.
Sounds great, Lauren. Could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production courses?
Well, I decided to take the TV1 courses because I'm always more interested in what's going on behind the camera than what's going on in front of the camera. I've been to numerous live TV shows, and I'm always more interested in watching what the cameramen are doing and what the sound people are doing, way more than what's going on in front, which is what I paid to see. So I thought I would come and learn the ropes.
Okay. And what are some of the most useful things that you say you'd learned in the course?
I would say the most useful things I've learned are the basic camera techniques, such as just putting your camera on a tripod is one of the most useful things I have learned. And then of course always putting your camera on manual focus and never leaving it on autofocus, because any director who knows the stuff isn't going to do that.
Of course. Could you tell us about the productions that you created in your TV1 classes, the Learning Project, Action Sequence, your New England Season Project, and your Orange Project?
Sure. I'll start with my learning project, and that was exactly what it was. It was a learning project. It could have been a disaster, but it was where we learned to use basic camera techniques and learn basic angles such as low angles, high angles, medium angles. We learned over the shoulder shots, how to film a conversation, and it was just learning how to use the camera, basically. Next is my action sequence, and for this I just had my friend come in, sit down at the desk, open it up, take her book out, write in it, close it, put it back. But it was the hardest one I filmed because she kept doing things with different hands. So she'd take the book out with her right and then she'd put it back with her left. So it didn't look right, or she kept jumping like she's a righty and a lefty. So she would start writing with her left and then I'd videotape the rest and it would be with her right hand. So this was definitely my hardest one because it had to be cutaways and making sure that everything looked smoothly. Next is my New England seasonal project. And this is where we used the 6 guidelines and we looked for different types of lines, lines of grace, vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines. But this one was also very hard because Mother Nature decided to work against us and she was either giving us 3 feet of snow or melting it all away and we were under a flood watch the following day. But I had a lot of fun doing it because I really enjoy winter and it's my favorite season. Next is my orange. My story is a girl finds an orange in her bed and she places it on the desk where she already has an onion, and it turns out that the onion is a supervillain and the orange is a superhero, and it was kind of done in the spur of the moment. It was a decision we made last minute and it turned out really well, and I used the basic camera techniques I've learned all semester to film it and it came out very well. I'm very happy with it.
Looks like you did a great job, Lauren.
Thank you.
Could you tell us about which project you felt was your best while we watch a sample of it with the music that you selected?
Sure. My best project was definitely my New England project. It was also my favorite project to do because, like I said, I love the winter. Although I spent most of it shivering, trying to get a lot of the shots, it was definitely the best I did editing and music-wise. So let's listen for a moment.
Now, you mentioned a variety of things that you learned in the course. What would you say was the most the most important and interesting thing that you've learned, and how will you put it to use?
Definitely the most important thing I learned was the importance of teamwork in a TV production. I have to thank my team because they're working really hard right now to make sure this program comes smoothly. But it's also gives you the sense that it's not as easy as it looks. And the most important skill I learned was how to use the camera correctly. I've been using it wrong all these years, so I'm definitely going to take that and use that.
Well, it's good that you learned that then, Lauren. Today we got to meet someone who is not only interested in television production, but she also really likes to take on the next level of martial arts. I would like to thank our guest, Lauren Giannetti, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope you will enjoy meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and good day. Thanks for coming on the show.